Hello, in this little video I'm gonna show you some of my favorite sapphire transition effects. So I'm just gonna go into the sapphire transition effects and I'm gonna explain what the different kinds here are useful for, or what I think they are useful for, and how I would use them. And I have this little project here where I have multiple layers. Actually, I'm gonna change the comp size so that it fits my pre-composed clips. And here we have some of them are masked. So the dark purple clips are the just backgrounds. And here we even have some overlaying clips. But first I'm gonna cover this big category of the dissolve effects. The dissolve effects, they all have like this dissolve percent thing which you can animate. And okay, this looks kind of weird now, but you have the dissolve percent which you can animate. I'm gonna just I think I'm not gonna do this on the mask, I'm just gonna do it on the background here, but I'm gonna add the effect. Then I will press on this to animate it, the stopwatch, and I will press U to open the properties that have keyframes, which is a very useful shortcut. I use it very often. And to really create the transition, you see that there is this black, it fades to black when it's at 100%. And of course, if you have like this clip and want like 100%, and then you want to add the same effect to the previous clip so that you have nice transition. So I'm going to copy and paste it by using Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V, just regular shortcuts. But you see now it's in the same order, like in the beginning it's just black, so I want to change this so that it actually is like an in transition, not an out transition. So I'm gonna go to right click on the keyframes and do time reverse them. And now you see it fades to black and then it goes like this. But what I want is not a black screen in between. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend this clip by going to time and freeze on last frame. And yeah, like this. If I now uncheck the effect, you see that it just stays on this for the for however long you want it to really. But I'm gonna do it until here, until the effect on this layer ends. I'm gonna move the keyframes and put them here. And now we have this nice transition. And to make the effect a little smoother, I'm just gonna select these. I selected one and the ones from the top layer, and then I pressed Control or held Control and selected the other ones. Now I'm gonna press F9 to easy ease them. Now we have this nice transition here. So this is I'm not gonna do this with every single effect here, but as you can see for the other effects, if I now have, sometimes you have like control things. Now the dissolve percent is always the thing that you're probably going to want to animate. And this, for this effect, for example, you have these rays which you can animate. It's pretty cool, I think. I think I'm actually going to use it on this clip, but I'm not going to go into every single effect, but for the other ones, like the soft blur, I'm gonna add it on this one quickly. You can see that oftentimes it just actually dissolves to black, and here it probably does as well. I just have all of these other layers. Yeah, it's when you are at 100%, it is at black. So you're gonna want to extend your clips so that you have like another one visible underneath with these effects. And yeah, depending on whatever you add here, I think the dissolve glow it's almost just like a glow effect, yeah. But it's always like there are these parameters which you can change almost like a regular effect, and then you have the dissolve percent, which when you're at 100 it's gonna be all black, and here you even have like little textures, and you can play around a lot with these things underneath here, but this is what all of these effects do. And also with the shake thing, you can add like a nice shake transition, but it also fades to black, so you have to watch out for this. And if you know the normal shake effect, you're gonna know how much you can play around with these settings to create a nice shake. But yeah, that's it for the dissolve transitions. I'm gonna quickly do like a transition with this one, with the dissolve glow. I'm gonna use both of the masks, I think, because you could either add this underneath the mask, or I think I'm gonna do both versions just to show it. But here I'm gonna change it to 100 and go to 0. Okay. And with the rays, and it's almost like you have the edge ray effect, so I'm gonna copy and paste, and then I'm gonna time reverse the keyframes so that you have, okay, now this is different for both layers, the direction in which the rays are going in. That's because of the ray center, it's different. I think I'm gonna actually copy the rays center from here and just paste them over. I think this, just so that the rays are, okay, they are going from, okay, somehow with the rays, it seems like when you are at 50% around, then it's the most. So what I'm gonna do actually is change this to 50. But with the other effects, it's really about going to, it's gonna go to black. Hello. And yeah, with 100, I'm gonna make this a little slower, just so it looks nice, but I don't want this to be like an intense transition tutorial. Dissolve speed, I don't know. Could of course change all of these parameters. I think and now I'm gonna move on to the next kind of transition, and for this one I'm gonna go over the swish things here. These both are a little, yeah, they're similar, but this pan thing is pretty simple. You just have, it's like changing the position basically. Here you can choose which direction. So if you had 100, it's gonna go all out and come, and then with 0, it's gonna be in the original position. I think and here you can change the direction. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this to right and put it at 100 in the beginning. 100. And animate it, press U, and put this to 0. Yeah, I'm not gonna animate, do transition for all of the clips, I think. Okay, that's interesting. Why is it? It's because of the blur amount. Let's just put it at 0 actually, because the blur amount just blurs out a lot. It seems like I'll make it a little slower, and yeah, you can see with the swish thing. No, I'm actually gonna leave it like this. I think I really like the ray effect, so I'm actually gonna copy this and remove the swish effect from this layer and paste it onto the background. So I'll have it on the background, and here I'll paste it as well. But I will go to U to bring up the keyframes and then go to time reverse. Now the background is also blurring. I don't want it to blur, but it's moving to the right, and here it's also blurring. I don't want it to blur, so it's coming from the right, moving to left. And okay, this is cool because I really like this when you have the mask coming from one direction, the other layer from the other, but because we have the edge raise, I'm gonna remove this. And here, actually I don't want I want a nice transition where this goes from right to left and the other one from right to left and this one from right to left as well. And I already did this with the other clip. I'm gonna freeze on the last frame. And now I'm gonna move this transition so that it fits with the upper one. Now we have this nice slide. So yeah, that's basically the Swish pan thing. It's just to pan your layer. And the Swish 3D, it just adds a lot more to it. So you can, also have, I'm on the wrong effect here, sorry. Swish 3D, that's what I wanted to go for, right? This one is more advanced, I would say. You can make this be various different transitions. So I think this is one of the most useful of all of the effects, because you can almost create a 3D transition, rotate it, even shift. So if we put this back to how it was, now we would change like shift, and then we would change the vibe. It would be like a shift as well, but this time with a zoom because of this distance. Change it to 1, it's gonna stay normal, but you can do a lot of things with this effect. So I think it's one of my favorites. But now let's move on to some different ones. The film raw and flutter cut I'm not gonna cover because I honestly haven't used them a lot. But what I want to cover really is the wipe things here as well, because they are almost like you're adding. It's probably better to actually add it on a layer that has not a mask, but this is like, it almost always is like a texture, which is just automatically created, and you can always like customize the texture, also the angle and so on. And yeah, it's just what it says, it creates a vibe. And what I think is really cool with this effect is if you have like 2 layers, like I just duplicated my layer by using the shortcut Control D, that's what duplicates it, but I just need 2. And now I'm gonna, usually I would add like a glow effect or something like color, changing the color or something, but here I just use the dissolve glow since we are only using sapphire transition effects. But yeah, you can see now you can create lights. Either you can use this as a background for something, or you can make transitions like this where you have contrasting layers. And if you animate this, of course, you will get some movement here. Yeah, but you could also change the angle and animate it and so on. But that's just what all of the wipe things do. Yeah, wipe clouds. Some of them maybe are not like black and just shapes, but the clouds were like more of don't have the same opacity everywhere. So here you can see that the layer really is like cutting out the shapes. But it's not necessarily like this with all of them. But yeah, that's mainly what these effects are all about. So you have these parameters and also the Y%, and when it's at 100, it's just like with the soft things. Yeah, it's gonna be completely black. And just one nice thing I discovered was, one bonus thing, was that if you use this dissolve diffuse and you make it like really, I don't know, really big like this and so on, so you can just play around with the settings. But yeah, depending on whatever you're doing here, you can create like a texture with it. Here it's okay. Here I have different settings on these, but if I change this to full, you can see that this now creates. First, this is like a transition, but I'm going to go to you to reveal the keyframes. I just played around with them a little, and now you have this nice noise texture almost. I think this also is kind of really awesome. But yeah, this just a little bonus tip. But with all of these transition effects, it can be really handy for creating nice transitions, especially if you're a beginner, even though I really like it when you can like customize the position and so on. But the Swish thing it almost does the same thing. So yeah, I really recommend you trying to find out which of these effects you like the most for your own edits. And I also made like this small compilation using different ones. I'm gonna remove the audio, but this is also all created using like just the dissolve effects. So yeah, you can really achieve a lot with this. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah, and even remove the card flip thing. It's also very cool. You can add like 3D effects and even a shadow. Here, this is what the shadow is. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about in this video. So I just wanted to show you, give you a little tutorial on the transition sapphire effects. And these are, I use them sometimes, not always, but they're very useful. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you could, you enjoyed watching this and learned something from it. So yeah, have a great day and goodbye.